Hi guys, hey, thanks for joining me. Capricorn, this is your reading for June 2016. We are going to be doing the same layout as last month and using the same cards because it seems as though you all really enjoyed it. I've been doing some shuffling beforehand and we're at a point now where I'm going to stop shuffling. So let's lay out the cards and see what's in store for you guys for June 2016. So same layout as before. So is that in screen? I think I can move the camera up a little bit. Let me just play around with that. Okay, I'm not sure if that's much different, but that's how it's going to be. Nice looking reading, guys. I like it. Let's have a look at the major arcanas. 1, 2, 3, 4. And what else do we see? The court cards. 1, 2, 2. Okay, and when I look across the camera lens here, I see quite a lot of blue, and I think of blue as being contemplative and often about communication as well. So communication might be a key for you, which often means there's more than just yourself in the reading. This could involve other people. And in fact, that's a really good way to start. Let's take you up to the very top left at the back of the first row, which is the beginning of June, and we see the World card. Fantastic card to have in a reading. I love the World card. It often is about the endings of cycles. So perhaps for you guys, June is the beginning of something very new. So you may have been going through a journey previous to this month that involved something at your own level of being. So it was about you on a personal journey perhaps, and you have evolved and come to the end of that and you're moving into a new stage. Now the World can also represent quite a few other things, so let's work through it. There's a degree of sexuality in the card because we have a predominantly naked female, so there is sexuality and fertility involved. This can be the suggestion of new relationships coming your way and in a real attractive physical relationship, so that you're involved physically with someone at the sexual level. This can also be a time of conception and fertility, so possible pregnancies. Now the other thing that we can look at is this can be a travel card, and it can often be quite a large trip that you could be going on, like an OE, or you're travelling around the globe, somewhere around the world, so further than just your own location or your own country. There are 4 little signs involved in it as well. There's the Leo, the Taurus, the Scorpio and the Aquarius, or rather Gemini. So there's also the potentiality that these people could be involved in this whole initiation or journey or adventure or energy that you're starting the month of June with. Now these could be, as I say, new people coming into your life. They can be foreign people, so they might not have the same nationality as yourself, and some of them may not even speak the same language. So that's a really, really exciting way to start your month. New beginnings at a very profound level. We go to the next card and we see the 9 of Pentacles. She is emulating your energy, the Capricorn grounded, solid energy, also quite materialistic and quite at home in the realm of finances, money, material things and earth energy. She's opulent, she's wealthy, she knows what to do with her money, she knows how to invest her money. She's also gregarious and gives a good social welcoming party or hosts a great party. So some of you may be attending events like this or hosting them or thinking about where to invest your funds. You're usually relatively cautious and quite stable-minded when it comes to investments and finances. And that card bodes particularly well for positivity in that zone. We go to the next card and we see the Knight of Wands. Now he is this kind of like wild fire energy coming in, and he can be, mid to young age, and often really gets you excited and revved up, and he's passionate and he's creative and energetic, and he zoops up the whole room when he walks in, and some of you could fall in love with this person. But oftentimes they don't stay. They can be there to just ignite your passions and get you going, and then they fly along the way. But watch him coming in. It's a him or her, and it is a younger person. Watch for them walking into your life in that month or that week. They could be new colleagues or a friend of a friend, or someone you just randomly meet who you really connect with. Enjoy it. Live in the moment and really let that spark ignite you. We come to the next card, the Hermit card, and that's another major arcana. So the first week for you in June is actually quite a big one. It's sort of setting the tone for the month as you go through. The Hermit is often about seeking a little bit of time alone, and I think that may be the cause after all this energy in the first 3 cards, because there's lots of real action and, you know, full on boom 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 in those first 3 cards. And the Hermit says, whoa, sit back, sit down, I've got to catch my breath. And he likes to contemplate things, and he's looking at those 3 cards. So I think he has a degree of thinking about everything that's taken place and going, wow, you know, that's been an amazing bunch of stuff that I've just been through, and how can I learn from it, or how can I take my life forward with the knowledge I've gained, or the friends I've met, or the direction I'm going. He contemplates things at a spiritual level, so it's very much about himself, and it's very much about finding the path that he really wants to travel on, because there could be quite a lot going on for you at this beginning of June. Once he's taken the time out, he finds illumination, so he does make a decision, and he usually heads forward with more insight and more inner strength, and quite often very spiritual connection as well. So some of you may find this to be a spiritual time as well as a physical time. It's kind of like the whole kit and caboodle. Lucky you. Now we come down here to the second week, and we start off with this 5 of Wands. Wow, actually, I just got a message about that. Again, this can be just lots of social activity and rah-rah and stuff going on. So I think you're back into it again in the second week of June. That card can literally represent people being very attracted to you and wanting your attention, and quite often in the romantic sense. So some of you might find that you have a bevy of people showing interest in a romantic manner, you know, or a sexual manner. Also, it can mean that you're attracted to people that others are also attracted in, so there could be competition. So put your best foot forward and put your shining knight armour on, and, you know, look like the dapper Capricorn that you are when you're going out to attract someone. The other thing that this card can suggest is that there is competition in every realm of your life. If you're applying for jobs, there will be other people also applying. So make sure that you have your CV at its very best, and that you put things in it that get the attention quickly of a potential employer. You know, make yourself stand out, which is exactly what I just said. So that's the message for that card. Also, pick your battles. Don't fight. Don't sweat the little stuff. Let go of trivial matters. Just move them out. Don't get into arguments. The Ace of Swords next to it, it tells us that you will have been the triumphant person, but with a little bit of acrimonious energy. Sometimes there's been words said or some bitter attachments to it. This can literally be a time of indicating separations or divorce, or something that has required signing that you win over and another person loses over. It can be the separation even of business deals, or like you might have signed up to purchase a property or a car, and then the other person goes, oh, I've changed my mind, I want more money. And you go, no, it was what I offered you. Well, it has the feeling of eventually you win, so you get what it is you wanted and someone else loses out. It's that type of feeling. It's still a good card, and it's a card of moving forward. It's definitely communication and legal documents and things being signed. We come to the next card, and we have the 4 of Wands. It's a really nice, beautiful energy. Again, it's about functions and parties and social activity and happiness, particularly in the home. It can also mean that you're contemplating shifting, and some of you may shift and move to somewhere that you're really happy about, and it could be with someone new. So this can be engagements or events, but it's very happy and very positive and very celebratory. Really nice card. And actually right next to it you have the Eight of Cups, and that card can represent sadness as you move away. So there might be a bittersweetness connected to this. In fact, all of these three. You might have made the decision to move or leave something behind because you're going to engage in this wonderful happiness at your heart level. But there's a part of you that says, oh, but I've got to leave all this behind. And that is always hard when we make a new move and we move forward. But we know that we've learned a lot along the way, and we've gained a lot, and we've met people, and the love that we put into things, whether it be your job or career or home or relationships, that helps you to grow and become the person that you're about to walk onto this journey as, this new person. This ecliptical energy up here often talks to us about the fact that this may have started back in March when the eclipses were, and that somehow it's taken this long for this event to occur, but that you are on this journey heading into this newness. And I think this World card that set the tone at the very beginning of the reading is quite profoundly something for you to really take grasp of and realise that you've turned some sort of corner and you're heading in a new direction. This Page of Wands here is a younger person, often a fire sign energy, a little bit like this one up here. He could come back again. It could be the same type of energy, and I don't just mean he, it could be a she. Just popping back in again with perhaps more creative ideas. You might be teeing up with someone collaboratively who is helping instigate some sort of creativity in your ideas and turning them from thought into reality. So this could be business-wise, it could be study-wise, it could be partnerships of any sort. Good cards to have because they initiate new beginnings and fire up energy and energetic pathways and ideas. And this card right next to it is almost, even though they're rods and cups, it's almost as though this idea that he's given is handed to you here with some sort of emotional connection at the heart level, but it's like you're saying, no, I don't really think that's good enough, I could do better. And this one and these two are very similar, so you've got this whole feeling in here as if you're not quite getting what you want in life, like you're searching for more. But the thing to come back to is really empowering this particular part of the message, that what you have, don't take for granted. The grass is not always greener on the other side, and somehow if you can flip this offer around and reconfigure it in your mind and look into it a bit further, you will find that it's not as bad as you actually anticipate. Okay, I just had to stop there for a minute, guys, because my camera card was overheating. It's still relatively warm here in New Zealand, even though we're only a little bit off winter. So coming back to these two cards, gratitude is a very important energy to embellish in particular, and the more gratitude we have, actually the more that keeps pouring into our lives, and the more positive too. This card suggests that there are offers around you, and this is very similar to this energy up here, that there was this feeling of conflagration and energy and people and activities happening. Well, you're duplicating it or replicating it down here again. It's like it's quite a social, energetic card, but there's the possibility that what you're being attracted to may not be offering what it appears. There's some hidden agenda stuff going on. So it tells you to look very carefully at things that are being presented to you, which is kind of what you're doing here, but you have to be looking at the right things for the right reasons, and also not closing yourself off and not taking an offer that could be good. the number 7 will play a role, even whether or not there are 7 ideas on your mind or propositions or possibilities, or it could be something to do with the 7th, like there might be a 7 in the day of the month that this energy comes around for as well. So just be careful that you pick the right one. And in fact, having the Magician right next to it, which is a very powerful, omnipotent card, I think it's one of the best in the whole deck. And this tells you this is a time of amazing opportunities. It's like the universe is sending this bolt of lightning down to you. You're a conductivity energy for amazing magical events to take place. So if you're ready to have this come into your life and you activate it, then you have this propensity to enrich and make magic happen in your life at all levels, because all of the 4 symbols and signs are inactivated within this card. But because it's right next to this one, I would advise caution and not to be too overzealous in your dreams and desires and your wishes. You need to fundamentally make sure you're requesting the right things in life, because remember, we often get what we ask for. It's just that we don't ask for the right things, and that would be the message with this one connected to this one. So get out there and co-create what it is you want, and be very specific about it, and pick the right things, because there's definitely a lot around. There's lots going on, and it feels like you have the potential to go down a big pathway with the right energy. And even down here, it's still suggesting that you're wondering over choices, which choice to make. So again, you've got to think logically, you've got to go within, and also intuitively connect with yourself. And again, this comes back to the ecliptical time. So you've got 2 messages in your reading about stuff or events that were happening back in March or April that are either energizing themselves or reconnecting again, or coming back up in your mind somehow and needing attention and addressing them. You're not quite sure whether to go with A or B, but you alone really should be making this choice, and you need to take the time out to give it the credit and the energy that it requires, because this is a pathway for you going forward. So try to make the right choices here. It feels like you have so many choices. You're spoiled for them in the month of June. We come to this one, the Chariot. You have got in your reading 1, 2, 3 cards that emphasize the potentiality for travel. So I think in June you're definitely going on a trip somewhere, and this is towards the end of June as well. So this one here often is about cars or things that go by road. So there is possibly road travelling involved. And it is also about cars, so even about your own vehicle and whether or not you are trading up or you're doing something with your car. And it could even be involved in a job, like some of you may have a job that you travel in your car. This could be a new job coming. It's also a very much more powerful card than that. Again, we're talking about the symbolic energy of strength and inner strength and psychology and the psyche, which very much intertwines itself with this Hermit card up here. So this is about yin and yang, male and female, black and white, night and day, and it's about you having the strength to dominate it, or to be the chariot ruler, and you don't even have reins. This is all done by your thought. So you are containing life through the desires and the manifestations of your thought, which is extremely powerful. When we get to that stage, this is when the Magician is saying you can co-creatively with your strength and your mind strength bring and manifest things into your life that are very powerful. So this is it's a fabulous reading. It's not a light reading, it's actually quite deep. There's quite a lot going on, but I feel it's a turning point for you. We said that with this one right at the very beginning. So I do really hope you can connect in June and really energize the energies around, pick up on them and head yourself in some magical direction. We come to this card here and we've got the 8 of rods or wands, and again this is about quick fire action, and it's also often about air travel. So some of you might be going on a trip overseas in a plane, and the other thing it can be is shifting of house. Oh, these two can often go hand in hand, moving and temporary moving, so there's no doubt that travel is also a key factor for this one. Also, again, the number 8 and new potential energies, relationships, often romantic coming in. Romance seems to be on the cards, and if we look at this one here, the 4 of Swords, this is often about retreats, going on a retreat. So some of you might go somewhere for a drive somewhere, even with a potential new romantic partner, to a retreat, like a weekend away, where it's very soothing and gentle and cathartic and, you know, spiritual. Oftentimes this is when conception can happen, so child conception again, so there's 2 times of fertility here and sexuality. It can also be a time where there are minor operations that you might undergo, and a time where you do need to actually just be peaceful and rest and take some time out. This card is also about, coming back to this Chariot, is also definitely about success and being on the winning side of things, especially if you pull on that energy and really engage with it. So I think I've covered off almost everything, but it's kind of like you've got a reading where I keep pulling stuff out of the air that needs to be added, to be said. So there's a lot going on. It's a really you haven't got necessarily the most intense cards of the deck, but they just seem to be the way they've been put together and the way they interlock with each other, that creates the complexity and the convolutedness of the reading. Yeah, I think you should also all, in your own minds and thoughts, work your way through the cards and put your spin on it as well, and really feel into the messages that they're giving, because it is a great month, and I think there's a huge potential for you to be setting yourselves up as you move forward. So there you are, Capricorns, a really empowering, thoughtful, positive, vibrant, active, travelling reading. Thank you for joining me, everyone. I really love doing these readings. Sorry about that, guys. That was actually just my Capricorn saying goodbye. I was about to leave the house for a little while. So there we are. Really, as I say, fabulous reading. Thanks for leaving all your comments, for subbing and liking. I really appreciate that, and I hope that you all appreciate the readings, which I'm sure you do, because we all gain so much out of it. So wishing you the very best for June and the beginning of a wonderful, epic adventure for you guys. So thanks again. Take care. Ka kitea noa. Much aroha. Namaste.